What's good, everybody? What it is and what it ain't. It's another segment of Ray's podcast. I'm with you guys right now before the crew come in. Technical difficulties. Murphy's Law, they will not be in this early. So you already know how we about to get right as usual. Well, not as usual, but like how we always do. I'll put it like that. So what it is and what it ain't. You don't like what I got to say? Join the debate now. What's up? What's up? What's up? Before we start into anything, make sure y'all share this video. Everybody's about to come in. They just coming back from doing what they have to do. And I'm about to just kick it off to let you in talk about the NFL playoffs that's going on this weekend. This past weekend, we have debated on who will win the NFC East. I said that the Cowboys were going to win the division. That was my prediction from day one, and I am a Giants fan. But that didn't happen due to Doug Peterson taking out Jalen Hurts. Now, that pissed me off because, the Giants did win. And I was like, what the hell? Like, it is what it is. Let's see them make it to the playoffs. I don't care. I knew that they weren't going to do anything. I will give credit to Daniel Jones. I always talk shit about Daniel Jones, and I say that he has never won a big game in his career. And being that he beat the Cowboys for the last game of the season to try to get into the playoffs, that was a big game, and much respect to him. I'll reconsider and probably take my Giants serious next year. But I don't like how the football team did that. I mean, not the football team. I don't like how the Eagles did that. They said that there was always in their plan to put the backup quarterback in. You play to win. They didn't. They backed off. And now we see the football team in the playoffs, and they got to host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So my prediction on the Cowboys making the playoffs and winning the NFC East, well, I was wrong about that. Recapping, I had the Colts to win the division over the Tennessee Titans. The Titans won the division off of a doink. Shout out to them, but they got a tough task against the Ravens this weekend. Bucks cover. What do you say? Bucks cover, Rams money line, Steelers cover, Saints cover. Where I'm at, I'm about to get into that right now. I'm about to give you my predictions real soon. But Tom Brady has not covered the spread this whole season playing on primetime games. They said that reportedly that he normally goes to sleep at 8:30. He's playing that game at 8:30. I think the Buccaneers win that game. So I think the best thing for you to do for the Tampa Bay is to take the money line. That Washington football defense is pretty tough. You never know what you're going to get with the DBs on Tampa Bay. They're horrible, but they can stop the run. So expect Alex Smith to do a couple of checkdowns and keep the game close. I don't know if Tampa Bay would beat them by 8. That's the spread right now. So Tampa Bay money. I got Tampa Bay, Tom Brady and the boys defeating the football team. After that, tough game that I was contemplating on a long time was the Ravens versus Tennessee. I'm going to go with the facts right here. Lamar Jackson hasn't showed us the Action Jackson MVP type of player that he is during the regular season and the playoffs yet. He's never won a playoff game. And I talk junk about him all the time. But I think this year he'll finally get the job done and get his revenge over the Tennessee Titans. I think they'll beat them. They'll upset them at their crib, just like how Tennessee beat them. So, yes, I'm taking the Ravens to beat Tennessee Titans. Ravens money line is to be close. So, but the Steelers versus the Browns. Steelers set their guys, their players down this past weekend. They put Mason Rudolph in. Rudolph did what he can do, and the Browns only won by 2. But, their offensive coordinator has COVID. They're going to be missing a couple of guys on their coaching staff. I don't think the Browns are going to do it. It was a good year for Baker Mayfield. I didn't expect them to make the playoffs. I expected the Dolphins to get in and the Browns to miss, but things happen over there with the Dolphins. So I'm taking the Steelers to cover. I'm with you on that, Austin. And then the Saints versus the Bears. The cover that +9 that it is right now, and it possibly move up to 11. I don't know. The Bears have a good defense. Since Mitchell Trubisky been there, they've been putting up a lot of points, and he's under contract. He's trying to make things happen. Drew Brees got a lot of, what's the word I'm trying to pick here? he has a lot to show us. I'll just say that. I was trying to look for another word and I couldn't figure it out. But he has a lot that he needs to show us. He has folded. The Saints have folded. I picked the Saints last year to win the Super Bowl. I thought it was the first time they were going to do it. Being that Drew Brees came out and said that he's going to retire, I don't think he's going to lose his first game in the playoffs. He lost last year to the Vikings, so I think Saints money line is the best way to go right there. But I will say the Bills are going to cover over the Colts. So take that -6 right now with the Bills. I think the Bills cover. I think they beat the Colts. I like the Colts. The Colts have a good team, but the Bills are hitting on all cylinders right now, and you need to really watch out for the Bills being that type of team to be a threat to go to the Super Bowl, because as of right now, they're looking like the best team in the AFC right now. Josh Allen, you can't do anything with him. Josh Allen he's going crazy. So be on the lookout right there. I got the Bills to cover, Saints money line, Steelers to cover, Ravens money line, and I got Buccaneers money line. Do not take Buccaneers to cover. Tom Brady has yet, I think he's 1-5 at the spread, playing on 8:30 games, and I don't trust that right there. Green Bay's looking like a good team to possibly come out the NFC, but I'll say you can't bet against Tom Brady, and he has a whole lot of weapons. So being that they have a whole lot of weapons, they have a great running back core. Like I said, their DBs are questionable. That's what it is. You can pass a lot on the Buccaneers. A lot of teams have done that this year, but you can't run on them. So if I had to pick a team right now who I'll say to go to the NFC, to win the NFC and to go to the Super Bowl right now as of today, on camera, this is straight off the rip. I hate that I'm doing this. I took them last year. I'm going to say it's going to be the Saints. You got to go with the Saints. So I think, and I talk so much junk about Drew Brees. I talk about how he's not better than Eli Manning because he doesn't have a lot of champions, the same amount of championships in him. Being that he's retiring, he's coming out of it. I'm rocking with Drew Brees to come out of the NFC. But I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers get to the Super Bowl this year. AFC, I'm just going to say it's going to be the Chiefs versus the Bills, and I don't know. I don't have a team right now to pick in the AFC. Of course, the favorite team is to take Patrick Mahomes, and I would advise you to take Patrick Mahomes and them because they're going crazy. But the Bills are hitting all cylinders right there. So right now, as my prediction is right now, I'm going to make another podcast through this week to get my final prediction before the games. But right here on live, I'm saying that I think it will be the Saints versus either the Bills or the Chiefs. That may change throughout the week, but that's just my coming to you guys right here on live, giving you my prediction. Now we're going to move along to the NBA. Moving along to the NBA. The first person I'd like to talk about is Stephen Curry. Stephen Curry, I don't know, Faise, Sherm, and Brandon, I think they forgot. Like I said that the Golden State Warriors are going to make the playoffs. That's what I truly believe. They're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to win the championship, but to make the playoffs, hell yeah, I think the Warriors make the playoffs. They have an all right cast. This is a fact. Since Draymond has came back, they are 2-1. Sherm laughed at me about talking about saying when Draymond come back, they'll do something. He was joking about them saying that a triple-double single, Draymond's not nothing. It's all about your pieces. And Draymond Green is a big piece to the Warriors. Running the offense, setting them down screens, doing everything. LA, what's good, Von Shea? What up? What you mean about LA? What you mean? But Stephen Curry, I think a lot of people forgot about them. Forgot about them and forgot about the Warriors. And Dame came out last week because they played each other twice. You know how the season is going on back-to-back now. Dame came out and said that he don't think Stephen Curry is getting those easy looks as he usually had because of all his weapons he had in the past. But he answered them, and he went crazy, and he scored 60, went wild on them. And they're on a 2-game winning streak. They play the Clippers tonight. But as of right now, I don't know if they'll beat the Clippers. This would be Kawhi's first game back-to-back. I think they're pissed off that they lost yesterday. But I wouldn't – Stephen Curry prop bet over 28 points, I'm taking that. Wiseman will only get better? Definitely. Wiseman would definitely get better. That's my prediction to win Rookie of the Year. I mean, he has the easiest, I guess he has the ability. He's actually, for James Wiseman, this was the best thing. Von Shea, you said LA getting the ring? Definitely. I think the Lakers will go back to back. They have no choice. Now, to three-peat, I don't know about that. Yes, Cliff, that's where I was definitely about to get into. This was the greatest thing that happened to James Wiseman in his career. He's a big man. I don't know if anybody watched him in college for a little bit of his career that he had in college, but he can do everything. And if he would have stayed at Memphis before everything happened with COVID, Memphis would have been a problem for real. And you see, they got I can't think of his name off the top, but one of their players got drafted to the Miami Heat. I think it's Prince, something like that. But he was good too. But James Wiseman, this was the greatest thing that happened to his career. You're playing with Stephen Curry. First of all, to pick and roll, you got to go over the top. You got to go over the top guarding Stephen Curry. That's going to be tough to do. If you play basketball before, especially a guy like Curry who can really shoot, doesn't matter if you go over the top, you're on his hip. Doesn't matter if you go under, you're dead. So, and all you got to do is roll easy, playing with Stephen Curry, playing with Draymond, easy dunks, easy baskets, and he could get buckets on his own one-on-one. James Wiseman is in the perfect system. This was the greatest thing that happened to him, and I'm still banking on him to win Rookie of the Year. Now, LaMelo has been playing well, and Anthony Edwards finally coming along. He dunked on Nikola Jokic the other day, but it's going to be perfect, especially with Klay Thompson come back, the Warriors be fine. But Stephen Curry reminded everybody who he is. Remember, he is. I know people might say that the MVP is a fan voting, but he still is the only MVP, the undisputed MVP. And let's not act like he did not change the game of basketball. I saw a post the other day who are the most influential basketball players. I would have to say Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Kobe, Bron, and Stephen Curry. Those guys changed the game of basketball. Now, some people might want to take out Kobe, whatever, that's your thing. But for sure, Jordan, AI, Steph, and Bron for sure. What you say in the chat right here? Oh, well, my boy Dame showed him first. And 360 pointers on his belt. Steph first. Only thing he ain't got is a team like Steph had. That's true. But Damian Lillard had his opportunity when he went up against the Warriors. And let's not act like Dame didn't show up that series when Damian Lillard first got to the Western Conference Finals. He didn't play the Dame player that we know. So I can't give you that. He did not have the team like Curry, I guess, because you have multiple all-stars, but he had enough depth to go up against him, and he didn't perform well. And Curry outplayed him in that series again when people were talking about Damian Lillard was the best point guard. So I think we need to dead it right now. There are a lot of great players in the NBA, but I'm going to say this straight up. It's different levels, and Stephen Curry is on that different level. He's on that level with Bron and Kevin Durant. Now, Dame is right there with them, but I still got Steph as being the best point guard in the NBA, hands down. And if you disagree with me, if anybody else disagree with me, we can talk about it. Appreciate everybody that's saying here right now, though. Sherm will be here soon. Faise most likely will come here. If not, we'll keep the ball rolling. Make sure you share this video right now. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel at Raise Podcast and follow on Instagram at Raise Podcast. Keon, what's up with it? LeBron, what you talking about, LeBron? But I'm going to move along to another person who's playing crazy right now, playing amazing. Joker is averaging a triple-double. Now, shout out to Brandon. I'm going to give Brandon his props. Because now I'm talking about it, and Brandon's not going to be with us this week. Probably double up and probably want to get him in Friday. We'll probably have a segment, so be on the lookout for that. But Brandon, last week when the King, he asked us who was our top 3 MVP. Said LeBron being the best point guard. Well, I'll get to you that. Stay on the Nikola Jokers real quick. Now, Brandon was talking about that the Joker was averaging a triple double last week before this week happened. We didn't really talk too much about it, but he was trying to tell us that he can be MVP. Face was like he didn't think it was going to happen. He didn't think it was going to hold up, but it's still happening. He's averaging what 25, 11, and 11. He leads the league in assists as a big man. Like Brandon said, if they start winning some games, you need to put them in there. And even if they don't start winning a whole lot of games, they're in the eighth seed. I really think that you need to put him as an MVP. I think he needs to win the MVP or be number one right now. I had Luka, but looking at what Joker did, and I watched the Nuggets play. Michael Porter Jr. will return tomorrow from his COVID things that he didn't follow, but Joker's going crazy. Jamal Murray is struggling right now. He's not playing like the Jamal Murray that we saw in the bubble, which, I expected to happen. I didn't expect him to average 40 every single night during the season, like a 80, 81, 72 games for a whole year. I didn't expect that. But Joker is doing his thing right now. He's averaging a triple-double. And if the league gave Russell Westbrook MVP for averaging a triple-double, I feel like you got to do the same thing with the Joker. But see, the difference now is the Nuggets are going to be better than that Oklahoma City team that Russell was on, which was an eighth seed. I don't expect the Nuggets to be an eighth seed. Now, what you say, Rico? You said, of course. Oh, I think you're talking about the Stephen Curry and Dame still. Of course, he would show out. Let me put you on there so everybody can see. Of course, he could show out when he ain't got to carry a team. Steph never played a tired 40 minutes with them boys. Chill. Okay. I don't know why everyone's trying to create this narrative that Stephen Curry never carried a team. You do know that the Warriors' whole organization for being a winning team all started with them revolving everything around Stephen Curry. Monte Ellis was their guy. Still don't know how Monte Ellis was never an all-star. If you don't know what Monte Ellis is, you need to go check that out. They gave up Monte Ellis and basically gave the keys to Stephen Curry. Now, in Curry, early in his career, he had a couple ankle injuries, and they had to draft Draymond, and they did have to draft Klay Thompson. Now, but don't get it twisted now. Stephen Curry is the best player on that team. Of course, you need other guys. Now, Klay Thompson plays defense, and he's a great shooter just like Curry, but don't act like Steph ain't lead that team. So we got to erase this narrative that he never created a team or he never carried a team, because earlier in their career, Steph was going crazy the whole time, and they finally got over the hump once they added Iggy and other pieces. Of course, that's when you need a team to win a championship. So don't act like Steph ain't the guy. Let's don't do that. Don't do that. Now you said they won one piece away from a championship. I think you're talking about the Nuggets. If you are, Keon, I agree with you on that. I think they are one piece away. Michael Porter Jr. is that guy for them. He's just young, but he's going to be that type of player. He's going to be that type of player. They're trying to trade Gary Harris. That's what the Nuggets are trying to do. And if they can figure out a way to make that deal happen to get something in return, I think it'll work out. I think it'll be beneficial for them. I think it'll be great for them. They have Will Barton back. He's no longer injured. Joker is being that type of guy. They have a couple bench players there. The Nuggets would be fine, but it's tough, because it's that man in LA, the Lakers and AD. Those guys is tough. I don't see anybody in the West taking them out, for real. And they cruising right now. They're really cruising. So Joker is averaging a triple-double, and the league and ESPN and everybody needs to start talking about him right now, because this is crazy. A big man is leading the league in assists. Before yesterday's game, he was averaging 14 assists per game. Now what is, I think, at 11.9, 12 assists per game. That's crazy. That's crazy. And getting buckets, same thing. Moving on to the next team that I want to talk about. Let's talk about Doc Rivers and the 76ers. Doc Rivers and the 76ers. And we all know everything that was going on with Doc Rivers. You know, he left the Clippers. Tyronn Lue is now the head coach, and now at Los Angeles. He's the coach at Philly. People are saying, how is Doc continuing? Ooh. Who do you have challenging the Lakers in the West? Come back to the Doc. I'll answer you right now, Cliff. Who do I have challenging the Lakers in the West? If there's any team to challenge the Los Angeles Lakers right now in the West, it is not the Clippers. I'll give you two teams, Cliff. I'll give you two teams. I'll say, I'll say the Suns. The Suns can match up with them well. They have the body. They have the depth. Getting Jay Crowder was a great piece for the Suns. Chris Paul's a winner. I know he didn't win a championship, but he changed organizations around. And if he did it with OKC, imagine what he could do with DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker and more. So I'll say the Suns. And then the next team, I'm going to still say Dallas. Once Dallas get healthy, once they get fully healthy, hold on real quick. We got Sherm coming in right now. What up, boy? What's good? What's good? What's up? You just came in just in time. Cliff asked us, who do we have challenging the Lakers in the West?
Who do we have challenging the Lakers in the West? Nobody.
Wow.
Nobody. It's not Portland. It's not Denver. Nobody. I'm just being honest. Ray, you know me. I don't give homeboy that much credit, but I call it how I see it. Nobody.
So okay, well, you heard his answer. To me, I said the Phoenix Suns. I said Phoenix can be a team.
No way at all.
I'm still taking the Lakers to win. I'm still taking the Lakers to win, to come out the West, but there has to be a team to challenge them. There has
to be a contender. There is none. There is none. Phoenix, they're young, they're up and coming. CP3, I love CP3. He's a leader. You know, when we do our production meetings, I always say that he's the last point guard, the last 2-point guard in the league. But no, they just don't have enough to compete with the Lakers. That's just my opinion.
No,
they don't have enough.
And then the other team, I said, I know you hate me bigging them up, but Dallas. Once Dallas get healthy and once Porzingis come back, I say you always have to watch out for Dallas. Dallas is a scary team, but I'm still taking the Lakers to come out the West.
Dallas is the biggest if. Again, it all depends on Porzingis. Can he be there when it counts? He's 7'3". He has knee pop. Like, can he be there when it counts? That's the biggest question. Like, again, you understand. I seen KP in New York.
Mm-hmm.
So he's consistently had the same problems with his knees in New York. But if they can stay healthy, then but I don't see nobody beating the Lakers out of the West at all. Nobody.
I'm with you on that. Same thing. You know, I'm thinking they're gonna go back to back. I'm thinking they're gonna go.
Which we was in agreement on last year. This year we on the same page.
And it's crazy because like your answer is nobody. Like it's clear cut. Like you already know what time it is. Like what made you change all of a something? I just need to know.
Nothing made me change. It's just I'm not biased about my opinion. Nothing made me change at all. I'm just not biased about my opinion. Last year I thought the Clippers, if everything would have played out, pandemic or whatever, I had the Clippers as a better team than the Lakers. But they folded. They melted. And after they melted, it was only left for one team, and that was the Lakers. It was only left for one team. That was it. Once the Clippers folded, we knew what it was. We knew what it was.
And we didn't expect him to fold either. But you came in at the right time. I was talking about your boy Doc Rivers. Your man Doc Rivers.
Doc. What about him?
All right. The 76ers have the best record in the NBA right now. I know it's early, Sherm. I know you said things could change.
You know, that's what I'm going to say. It's still early. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing. It's still early.
But
it's still early.
They looking all right. They are. Danny Green's hitting some threes for them. What you think Doc is gonna fluke? I mean, you think he's gonna fold again, or do you think Joel Embiid and them can? I'll let you go say your thing, and I'll get into mine.
What do his history tell you?
Always blow 3-1 leads.
He gonna fold. He's gonna fold in the end. And I love Doc. He was a Knick. I'm a Knick. He's gonna fold. I don't believe that I don't believe that when it gets to a point where everybody has talent. The further you go in the playoffs, everybody has talent. Everybody has what it takes to win. The further you go in the playoffs, but it comes down to coaching. I don't think Doc has that mentality to get over that edge. You know, and I'm not saying it's not something that he can't get or something that he can't bring to the table or learn through experiences, but so far he just haven't got it done. We can going back again to that. The Clippers should have lost to Dallas in the bubble.
Yeah, they were going out.
They should have lost to Dallas. Porzingis just got hurt. It was what it was, but they should have lost then. Because what's his name? Luka, he went crazy on him.
Yeah, Luka, he was damn near putting the team on his back.
Yeah, he went crazy, and Doc didn't make no adjustments. I know everybody, you can't blame the coach. You can't, but at some point, the play. I don't care what level you're on as far as basketball. The players look to the coach to make adjustments. Players are only programmed to do what they do. I don't care what level you are. All players are programmed to do what they do. But sometimes you need to look to the coach or that. Whether it's the head coach, assistant coach, the trainer, you need to look to somebody to give you that adjustments to make things happen. And I don't think Doc did a good job of making adjustments, or even his coaching staff, leaning on his coaching staff to make adjustments. Now with Philly, we gonna see. I can't be wrong, but we gonna see. We will see.
Now, knowing what Doc Rivers, you were saying that he always folds. I think he only blew like 3-1 leads, maybe 4. But I'll say something to go like something good about him. You know, when he was with the Clippers, you know, Chris Paul and Blake always got hurt in the playoffs. So those early years when Lob City was first created, I mean, but he did blow a 3-1 league against the Rockets, if I'm not mistaken, and Josh Smith went crazy and Corey Brewer. Yeah, it was against the Rockets. But the early years, Blake and Chris Paul got hurt. Now we got Joel Embiid. Danny Green is hitting crazy. Like he's hitting. That's why I'm like, wow. But they got Seth Curry though. Seth Curry, like he's balling for the Sixers right now. Like he's going crazy. Like to the point that with Joel Embiid, I remember Marvin was talking about Joel Embiid was averaging 28 and 15, but Joel Embiid, these past 2 games had under 20 points because Curry would get 13, 20, 23. So now they got pieces. That's why I say that's the best record right now. And then you made a good point. They have Dwight Howard. Why wasn't I saying they got pieces? They got the body. I just don't look with the Doc thing, but they do have the best record right now in the NBA, and we can't just brush that off. Yeah, it is, but they're not a team. They're not a team like the Hawks, for example. Hawks started off undefeated. You feel me? Hawks started undefeated. We was all we all thought that the Hawks were going to make it. Now the Hawks are 4 games in a row. They're going forward.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not like with the Sixers, though, because the Sixers are relevant every single year.
I say they're mediocre every single year. They're mediocre. There's a difference between being relevant and mediocre. There's a difference. I don't think they have never got over the edge. And what Doc, again, I'm gonna give Doc a chance. I can't give him a chance to see what he do. Faise, what's going on?
Welcome to the Faise. What's
fresh
up,
off, man?
Fresh off, got the fire off and everything.
Yeah, real life fresh off.
All right, well, we gonna read your idol.
Hey, you making us feel underdressed, man.
Nah.
We got to take a 10-minute break so we can go put our suit and tie on, man. Like, come on, man.
Nah, I usually even get to change before practice, but my coach got it, or he called me and was like, "Yo, I need you to get to the gym ASAP. I got to handle some stuff." And I was like, so I had to look at my other boss. I was like, "Yo, I got to go to the gym." They're like, "All right, cool." So I didn't get a chance to change, nothing like that. And then, we got to go through all those COVID protocols to get them in the gym. So I was like, man, I ain't about to waste my time to change, man. I'm just going to coach in what I got on today. So, word to Smitty. Smitty will be proud.
Hey, when you look sharp.
I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate that. What we on, though? What we talking about?
Okay, well, right now, we talking about Doc Rivers and the 76ers. They have the best record in the NBA. Sherm said it's too early. How you feel about that? We can't just brush it we just can't brush it off.
No, I'm not gonna brush it under the rug. Now this kind of helps my debate when we were talking about elite teams, right? In the East and the West, and how I think it was pretty balanced. But I think that it's impressive so far, but they haven't played really 10 games yet. So, and I think Doc, I will say this, I think he has a team that's a little more eager to listen to him, because he doesn't have two established superstars like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. I think it's less Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Literally in Hollywood. So I think that helps out a lot. But at the end of the day, Doc can coach. He's just not a pressure coach so far. Like, he's got his ring. I think they'll probably end up anywhere from 1 to 4. But that's what I was talking about. That would be a bad draw for somebody like this. We always go back with the Bucks and stuff. But like I say this all the time. What if the Bucks end up 3rd and the Sixers end up 6th? You know what I'm saying? Like, just how things go. Like, that's not a good look for the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's going to be a struggle for them. So that's all for me. But it's impressive so far, but I ain't crazy impressed. Just more so, I'm not. But I like it. It's good for them.
Cliff asked, what seed? He said it's good for them. What seed do you think they end up with? I think the Sixers will finish 3 or 4.
I think they're gonna do what they're gonna be at the top, somewhere in the top of the East. But what happens after that? I don't see nothing happening after that. I don't see nothing happening.
I think if they get matched up with the Bucks, they're gonna beat the Bucks. I'll tell you that.
They got the body.
That's what I'm saying. They got enough bodies to throw out there. They got everything they need. So,
all right.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So I was gonna say, at the end of the day, you still got that Brooklyn. So I don't see nothing happening outside of that. But we can move on.
We're gonna talk about Brooklyn. But now that y'all here. The last time that we gave our predictions, me and Sherm took the Clippers, and Faise, you took Blazers +7.
I did. And they got smacked.
They got
smacked.
So I finally got a dub under my belt on the live. You know what I'm saying? It kind of feel good a little bit. Sherm 2 for 2. So, but what did he say? Oh no. So the NFC East. I talked about it earlier before you guys came in here. I gave my talk on it, but everybody didn't hear what you guys had to say. Being that the Washington football team is in the playoffs and the Eagles, yes, Sherm, you feel good. Go ahead, put your head up and down.
I don't feel good. You know how I feel.
Didn't I tell you I thought Washington was gonna get in? I told you. That's what I said. Washington.
I don't feel good. Because I don't. Let me talk about my football team.
Go ahead. Let's talk about your football team. The people got to hear you.
Now again, I still don't trust Alex Smith. The defense has been doing the job all year. But I don't trust Alex Smith. Now, do I think they have a chance against Tampa? Yes. Because Tom Brady, at the end of the day, he's the same age as me. And he's not mobile. He's not nowhere near mobile. And the media is trying to make a big deal out of Chase Young saying, I want time. But that young boy and the whole front seven, they're all up outside of Brian Kerrigan, they all under 25. So do I think that we're going to beat Tampa? No. I don't think they're going to beat them, but I think they have a chance. I won't be surprised if we pull it off based on the defense. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. And one thing I'm going to say about my team is we have a habit of letting teams get off to a 14-0 lead in the first half, 17-0 lead in the first half. Then the defense step up in the second half. You cannot do that with Tom Brady. I don't care if he's 65. Because he'll pick you apart. You're going to manage the clock. You're going to manage the game. He's not going to lose the game. So the one thing that we got to do is keep it close. Keep it close somehow. The defense is going to put the pressure on. Keep it close, and then we'll see what happens.
Okay. Faise, your Eagles decided to take out Jalen Hurts to let the football team just get in the playoffs easy. So how do you feel about your prediction? And why did y'all take out Jalen Hurts?
So I was confident in my prediction with the Washington football team. I kind of figured that's what was going to happen, and I only say that because I just felt like they were playing the best out of everybody in the worst division in football at the same time.
The Doodoo division.
But my Eagles are 100% tanking, and not tanking for a positive reason. Like, I think we're tanking because we have no offensive coordinator. We have no play caller. I think our defense has bailed us out the past 4 years. I think the team that was built for somebody like Nick Foles, like a game manager, like Alex Smith, like Jimmy Garoppolo, like dudes that manage games well. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think we were built for. And Carson Wentz just doesn't fit into that, unfortunately, because he's a risk taker. So if you have a risk taker, and he's not an elite. I mean, he's an elite dude, because he's like upper echelon of quarterback, but he's not like, I don't know how much he makes people around him better, if that makes sense. And he's a big time like risk taker. Like he's like Brett Favre, almost like high risk, high reward. No comparison, obviously, like saying he's as good as Brett Favre, but he's high risk, high reward, and I just don't think that team was equipped for that. And I never thought that from the beginning. So, I mean, I think we did that on purpose just so the Cowboys didn't have a chance. And the Giants, I think that's how much we dislike them more than we dislike the Redskins. And the whole situation at quarterback is just I don't know. I think it's just Bradley Beal has 57 points.
Yeah, Bradley Beal had 57 points at the end of the third quarter, and they're playing in the fourth quarter.
Oh, so he might have scored 70 then. I would.
But Faise, what it also came down to, if y'all would have won the game, it was the difference between the ninth pick in the draft and the sixth pick. Y'all lost. So y'all got the sixth pick.
We slid up to 6.
Yeah, that's what it was really about. The draft position.
An above average Mark Sanchez. He's better than Mark Sanchez, but can you say that? This is the thing. I've always gotten, arguments with other Eagles fans, like, because I give Carson a hard time. Like, I understand his talent and I understand what he is, but I think at the same time, he's such a high risk, high reward guy that there's just more risk than reward right now. Because when he had that MVP type season, wasn't nobody saying it. You know what I'm saying? And I still, at that time, I was just kind of like, I was like, I still don't like him. And then he got hurt, and obviously Nick Foles went, we know what happens after that. But I don't know, man. We suck, and that's okay. Like I've understood that. And I'm sure we're gonna get on some other topics where I'm gonna say that they suck. So they're along the same lines of those, where just Carson Wentz overachieved for a little while. I do think he's better than Mark Sanchez, but I don't know how much better he is than Jimmy Garoppolo, even like somebody like Mary. I think he's almost a little bit better than Marcus Mariota. That's what I think he is. Yeah, Brett. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Before you go, Sherm, I think Cliff was asking Faise on the screen, what do you do with Carson? Too much money on the table.
Trade him to Washington. Send him to Washington. We'll take him.
Yeah, because you guys have a good defense. He can play with a good defense.
We haven't had a quarterback in 35 years.
Oh, Alex Smith is straight. He was all right.
Why don't you like Alex Smith? Why don't you like Alex Smith?
No, he was straight. And y'all had Kirk Cousins. Do you like that?
Sherm, you guys this season are 5-1 with Alex Smith.
Who did he beat? I know. I watched the games. Who did he beat?
You're right about that too.
The only quality team he beat was Pittsburgh. And they were suspect because they played a weak schedule. Like, I know.
That's your team.
He hasn't beat nobody. We beat the Eagles. We beat the Eagles twice. Dallas twice. We only had 7 wins.
Well, dang,
like,
sure.
What are we doing?
He just got his leg back. Like, my man ain't having a leg for a little while.
Hey, Faise is a beautiful.
What happened? So you just forget RG3, Superman?
He did nothing either. We haven't had it. Let me explain.
It was 1 year, but he was popping that 1 year.
Again. 1 year. Understand what I'm saying? We never had a franchise quarterback since.
Okay. I can respect that. Yeah, I get that.
We never had a franchise quarterback. And even with RG3, he was a flash in the pan. Once everybody realized he was a crash test dummy, they would let him run and then break him up.
Yeah, he was lightning in a bottle. He caught lightning in a bottle, and he was.
He went out though trying to win for y'all. They should have sat him down, but
no, that's forced. That's forced. So why is he not doing it now? He's still in the league.
I don't think he cares anymore.
He got his.
I think he's just getting a check,
or he didn't get that chance again. Like he's playing behind Lamar.
I mean, if you think about how RG was playing, like everybody going crazy about Lamar Jackson, like that 1 year RG looked OD. Like he looked like he was.
Let me explain the difference between. Let me explain the difference between RG3, Michael Vick, and
I was gonna say Mike Vick too. Yeah, I was gonna say Mike Vick
and
Pat Mahomes. He has some Mahomes in him, kinda.
And
not as
Lamar
high
Jackson. The difference between the three is Mike Vick, and Jackson. They were elusive. RG3 is not elusive. He has track speed. That's why even to this day, when Baltimore put him in, he looks like a crash test dummy. He only has track speed. Is down the line, straightforward. He's not elusive.
Straightforward. I get you.
And the thing in Washington, he needs to learn how to slide. You're not sliding when you running that fast. Like you're not. This is not baseball. It's football. In baseball, you can learn how to slide and hit the pad and then come up. In football, there's no pad to get you to come up.
I do agree about that.
And that's the difference with RG3. He was a flat, and with the read option, once people figured out, like, all right, he's just gonna run, and he's an open target.
Does he fit today's game better though? Like, did he come before his time?
No, because he's not elusive.
I don't know, Sherm. RG3 crazy, bro.
He's not elusive, man. He's not elusive.
Is Pat Mahomes elusive?
Who?
Pat Mahomes.
Pat.
But Patrick Mahomes can run. He could throw on the run. RG3 couldn't. It was just in the pocket throw and run with RG3.
Yeah. So he was like Quincy Jones, basically. You think he was like for the Cowboys when the Cowboys had Quincy Jones, like that kind of?
No, because Quincy Jones was powder in his nose.
Go ahead, Sean. Go ahead.
But nah.
Man.
I'm only telling the truth though. No, but RG3, he wasn't a great pocket passer. He wasn't a great. And once they let him run, let him run. He's straight up and is running. He was a track star. He was a track star that played football. That's basically who he was.
Okay.
Yeah. He still had a chance to do it. And we all know that black quarterbacks have a short leash.
Yeah.
I want to compare him to Cam because Cam actually did what he did with the abuse. So his body broke down. RG3 was just he only about 6'1". He's a blown up 6'1". And he's a little guy. He's a blown up 6'1". So when you go to the league and you taking them hits, man.
Yeah. I will say this though. I think if he would have came along now with all this spread offense and space and pace, just get it and go and no huddle, I think he'd been all right. Like I think he'd been a household name. He wouldn't have been like a top tier dude, but I think he'd been a consistent starter with a job like the whole time. If he stays healthy, obviously. But
I can agree. But again, how old is he now? Faise is not like he's 39.
Yeah, that's true. He's probably like 30. He's probably like 30.
He's not that old now.
But it's all about what team is going to give him that chance.
Well, yeah, it's definitely you got to fit because like Cam, I say the same thing about Cam. I think he was a winner, but I think you had to play a certain way for him to be effective. And I think that
RG3 is 30 years old, by the way.
Yeah, that's what I feel. I knew he was about 30. But you have to play a certain way for Cam to be effective. And if he's not, if you're not running a certain offense for Cam, then he's not, he's just not as good.
Who had a better career than Andrew Luck?
Better career than Andrew Luck.
Are you talking about
who said that?
Who said that?
Was that the debate when he was coming out, or?
Oh, I guess it was that rookie season. I don't know about career.
Who RG3?
Yeah, I think that's what he's talking about. RG3 having a better rookie season or whatever. But
he did have a better rookie season than a lot of people. But he also had a rookie running back that was taking the pressure on him that made it easy for him to run the read option.
You need
after that, huh?
You need your teammates.
Yeah.
You need
after that it was over.
Your stats. I want to see just how wild that year was.
No, that year was crazy. I'm telling you, as a Giants fan, I was scared to play the Redskins. I can say that because that's when they were the Redskins. But I gave my predictions on the playoffs this weekend, and I would like on file for you guys to say y'all predictions. So I got Tampa Bay beating the Washington football team, but I went Sherm. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. The spread is 9. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. I got the Steelers over the Browns. I'm taking the Ravens to get their revenge over Tennessee. I like the Bills to beat the Colts. And who's the other team right on top that's playing? The Bills to beat the Colts.
Bears and Saints.
Oh, the Saints beating the Bears, and then I like the Seahawks to beat the Rams. Who you got, Faise?
So I got Seahawks. I got Bills. I've got the Bucks. Ravens and Titans. Where's the game at? Tennessee?
The game is in Tennessee, yes. Spread is 3.
I'm going to come back to that one. States are going to beat the Bears. Steelers are going to beat the Browns. Baltimore.
Last year, Tennessee beat Baltimore.
Yeah, Tennessee snuck it out. Yeah.
Lamar Jackson has yet to win a playoff game.
He's never won a playoff game?
Never won a playoff game. First year lost to the Chargers. Last year, after that great year, he lost to Tennessee. He's yet to win a playoff game in his career. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. Now, you got to show me, so I'm going to take him this year. But
I don't trust him.
Jason?
I don't trust him. I also don't trust the Titans. But they got Derrick Henry. I'm going to Titans.
Okay.
I'm going to Titans. That's all I can't. That's my gut tells me to go to Titans.
Derrick Henry is a beast. He was on my fantasy. I'm feeling like Brandon right now. He's on my fantasy. What's up, Sherm? What you got?
Football team. I didn't believe in us last week, but I'm picking us to shock the world this Saturday. Picking us to shock the world. I'm going with that.
You ain't got no choice, Sherm. You got to.
That's your team. All right, what about Seattle versus the Rams? Oh yeah, you have yet to say that. Oh no, you said
I got Seattle. I got Seattle over the Rams. And who else we got?
Ravens and Tennessee.
Ravens.
Saints and Bears.
Saints.
Steelers and Browns.
Steelers.
All right. So it looked like you Sherm, you got the Washington football team, and Faise, you got the Tennessee Titans. That's all one thing we all don't agree on. Like we all have something that we're going against with each other. So that's it. We gave our predictions right there for the NFL. And now we're moving along to what's really going to spice up the conversation today. Really going to spice it up. So there's a man right now who's having a great year. Well, it's two, actually, both sides. You know, it's one guy in Brooklyn, it's one guy in Boston. Obviously, Sean believes that they are the best duo. But looking at it right now, we see Tatum went for 40 the other day and how Brown is playing. Right now, who's the better duo? Who would you take? Who are you going to trust? If or Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? What's up?
I'm gonna go last. Let me go last. I'm gonna let Faze talk, but let me go last. I want to go last because I'm not doing this. I'm gonna go last. Like, are we really being this disrespectful?
We're not being disrespectful. We just asking the simple.
It's pretty disrespectful, but that's okay. Are we talking about? Depends. Like,
do what you do.
If you're talking about starting a franchise like as of today, and everybody's this age and blah blah blah, then I'm taking the young guys. But if we talking about I got to win a championship in 2 weeks, then I'm going with KD and Kyrie. So, Tatum and Brown are going to be tough moving forward, because like 5 years from now they're both only going to be like 28. So they'll be tough moving forward. KD and Kyrie, I'd still like to see if they're going to coexist when it gets really down to the nitty gritty. Like I know they had a close game the other night against Washington, but I don't care about that. I'm talking about when they're in a 7-game series playing the Heat, and you know it's 2-2, and what's going to happen, you know, whatever. But that's about it. I mean, yeah, I think it's KD and Kyrie not by a mile, but it's, you know, I think it's them pretty obviously. But down the stretch, I'd like to see, you know, what's going on. So yeah, Tatum and Brown are on the come up, and Brown's only played like this for, you know, 7-8 games. So Jason Tatum's proved he can play like that for a whole year. So yeah, I got to see a little more from Brown too.
Okay, he said Chris said, I'll let you go last, Sherm. Chris said, yeah, I agree. It's pretty disrespectful talking about it right now. ... Future, I agree, is Tatum and Brown. Then Keon said, take Brown off the list. He's barely better than CJ McCollum, and they both inconsistent. Now, I'm agreeing with you guys. Of course, I'm going to take Kevin Durant and Kyrie. But the reason why I asked this question, and by the way, like I always tell everyone, if you have any questions that you want us to talk about, you could DM me. I'll be gladly to have it. We'll talk about it right here.
Join the debate.
This was a question that was asked from he's a Celtics fan. He has to be a Celtics fan. There's no way you're gonna ask this question unless you're a Celtics fan. But we're going back and forth. I'm not gonna put his name out there. I told him I'd keep everything off. I try to get him to actually come in here with us, but I guess he was too scared to talk about this on camera. So it's all right. I'll say his argument where he was typing. He was saying that his argument was that, of course, everyone's going to say Kevin Durant and Kyrie, but in reality, what has Kevin Durant and Kyrie done when they were leaders on their own team? That was his argument. Now, I said that he got a point to with Kyrie, but Kevin Durant, we know KD has shown us he can lead a team and get to the finals. Now, to Kyrie, I say you made a good point. I can respect it for that. But Brown and Tatum, he was like they was young boys when they went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Now it's what their fourth year. It's time for them to take it over the top. That was his argument to it. But I'm taking Kevin Durant and Kyrie. But you got to respect his argument to it because Kyrie has yet to proven he can lead a team.
I mean, the only thing I like about that argument is, I mean, Tatum and Brown haven't done anything either. So what are we saying?
Chris Vincent.
Yeah, like what are we doing? Like what are we saying?
What are we talking about?
Yeah, like what are we like if that's the case, KD's the only proven dude in that whole if we're doing it like that, like KD's the only proven dude, and then Kyrie will be second by a mile because those other two dudes have never even sniffed the finals. So like I'd like to hear that person come in here and defend that. Like I'd like to hear you defend.
Oh, I was definitely trying to get him to come. Like, come on, like he was going at it. It was a lot more. I basically just summed it up.
But while are we talking about the Celtics, before you go, Sherm, I got to say this. As of now, January 6th, and we 6-7 games in, I was wrong about Peyton Pritchard, and I ain't got no problem saying that. As of today, I was wrong about him. Like he ain't been. I guess for a rookie, I'd say he's been killing almost for like a rookie. So as of today, I was wrong about him. But see me about 2-3 weeks, then I'll let you know. But he got me a little nervous because never mind. I ain't gonna say that. Well, you see how he looked, and I know they like the way he looks up there in Boston, so they might try to ship my dog Kimba up out of there because he, in Peyton Pritchard we trust. To nobody, but
Go ahead, Sherm. I know you don't really want to get too much into detail about it, but you gotta say something. What's up with it?
We are talking about Kevin Durant. As he said, what's his name? Kevin Durant. 7 foot to score from anywhere on the floor. He's playing defense. MVP. Along a guy who I consider is a Batman too. He ain't no Robin. He's a Batman. Kyrie and KD is no question who's the better duo. And again, yes, in the future, you want to go with the Boston duo, but at this point, it's not even a discussion. It's not even a discussion. Hands down. We're talking about, again, kept a 7 foot guy that can do any and everything on the floor. Any and everything. And Kyrie, a guy who, as we spoke about in our production meetings, you could say that he wasn't a leader in Boston, he wasn't a leader in Cleveland, but he's only 28 years old. He's only 28. He's just touching his prime. The problem with everybody the earth is flat.
There you go.
Faise, come on, bro. The earth is flat. We talking about the 94 feet. Faise, we talking about 94 feet. That's his earth. His earth is flat.
I hope so.
But this guy has not even really touched his prime. Think about Kyrie. Do he have the body of work? Because he's always been hurt throughout his career. But we seem to think that he's in his 30s. He's only 28 years old. That young man has a lot of basketball left to be playing. And he's tearing it. He's showing right now that, look, this is what I do. This is how I do it. And we going to get it done. Along with the 7-footer.
A lot of people disagree with you on one thing. They're all saying that he's definitely a Robin.
But me and Mr. Wilson, we have that debate every day. We had that debate last night through text. So I reached Mr. Robinson, Mr. Wilson. If you're gonna think that, Mr. Wilson, if you're gonna think that Kyrie is a Batman, that's cool. But he's showing everybody right now that he ain't no damn Robin, man, at all. He's not no damn Robin.
Okay.
And I know why Jamie is doing that. I know why he's doing it. He's trying to get me riled up, but I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm not gonna fall for it.
Well, something to get riled up about. I was speaking on it earlier before you guys came in. I was talking about Stephen Curry. Last time we talked about it, this has been a week that done passed now. Mm-hmm. Everybody done heard what I had to say. Sherm, I really want to start with you. You can't bypass this. Do you still think the Warriors not making the playoffs? And what you think about Stephen Curry's performance?
Again, like I said in our production meeting, Steph is my guy. I just don't think that he has the team to support him. He's going to have to go for 62 every night. like, am I saying he's not going to? They may be a bottom 8. We already agreed on that. They may be, but they're not going to make no noise. Steph is going to kill. He's going to do what he's going to do. And Jay Wilson, knows what I say about Steph every day. He's my guy. He's a top guy. There's no point guard in the league that I'm comparing to him at all. Who's not a Batman?
Ooh, I don't know, Sherm. I kind of agree with that comment, Sherm.
He talking about Kyrie is not a Batman. He had his own team, and they were a lottery every year. And I'm a Cavs fan, and that's facts.
Oh my God.
Now, it was a sorry Cavs team, though. Now, they was sorry.
See, Jamie knows what he's doing to rile me up. Are we going to sit here? We're talking about Steph. Right or wrong?
Yes, Steph.
No, well, we're talking about Steph. I think he's talking about
Kyrie.
Talking about
Kyrie. Yes.
So
Steph
we're gonna
see
Mr. Wilson knows what he's doing. You guys don't know. And I'm gonna ask you guys, all right. Did Kyrie play with the same team that he played with when LeBron came to Cleveland?
No, it was a whole different team.
At all. A whole different team. So don't tell me he had no damn new team. But he had his own team. He had some bums. He was really playing with bums.
I'm taking Steph. I'm taking Steph.
Yeah. Yeah, right. I'm not going to do it, Mr. Wilson.
I know. I got you.
I'm taking Steph.
I'm not going to do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it.
I just know, like 3 years ago, one of my boys tried to. No, this was more than 3 years ago. This is probably like 5 years ago. My boy Steve at Methodist, he used to just jump on me all the time because I used to say I thought Steph Curry was better than Russell Westbrook, and I just said it all the time. I was like, that's just what I think. And like, man, you're crazy. Russ is doing this, doing that. I said, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. I do. And I'm not knocking Westbrook. But Steph, literally, and I mean this now, he literally does everything better than Westbrook but rebound. It's the only thing he doesn't do better.
Exactly.
Okay? It's the only thing he doesn't do better. That's it. And there's no denying that. And Russ can probably guard bigger, forwards a little better. And he's like, man, you're just crazy. I was like, okay. I said, okay. But we're not watching the same thing. Like, anytime you 6'2.5", 185 pounds, and that's being very friendly, he's probably 6'3", because I've actually had the privilege of playing against him in person. So he's actually like 6'3". But to know like and I'm sure if I saw Rusty like eye to eye, face to face in person, I would feel the same way. When I tell you that I have never seen something so easy It just didn't make sense. Like we're playing pickup at Davidson over the summer of 2013, and he is just effortlessly walking through there. Like everybody's playing as hard as they can, and it looks like he's just walking around. You know, pickup games going to 5, and he scores on 5. He scored one time. He scored 5 points on 5 shots, and we only going to 5. So it's like we was running up and down for a workout for him, rebounding and shit for him. So right then and there, I was like, "Yo, this is." I was like, "This is different." I was like, "This is a different level of a dude." So, but I think it's just Steph. I think Kyrie is a little more. Flashy is not the right word because Steph is pretty flashy too. They got 2 different style of games.
Yeah, one guy is more physical and gets to the rack.
Yes, Kyrie. Yes,
and one guy is just out of this world. Steph, see now, I want y'all to understand this.
Oh, yeah, he bringing up Bron. He definitely trying to trigger you. Yeah.
Nah, see, but this is what I want you guys, and this is what sparked the conversation off last night. Y'all don't understand what I go through, not just with you guys, with Ray and Brandon. I wish Brandon was here.
Yeah, I wish Brandon.
I was kind of disappointed when he said that he couldn't make it. He had his other obligations.
Shout out to Brandon.
Now you guys see what I go through day in and day out. So when I'm hitting you guys on certain things, it's because I'm getting it from everywhere. But outside of that other guy stuff, Steph is just different, man. Steph changed the game. Steph changed the game. I'm not doing it. Steph changed the game.
He definitely changed the game.
He changed the game how it's played.
They go up against the Clippers tonight. We're gonna give our prediction later on after we're all said and done. So just hold on to that. The Warriors and that game will be on ESPN. Right now, the Heat and the Celtics going at it. The Miami Heat came back.
CP, I disagree. That's my boy CP. Said Kyrie's handles are better than Steph. I disagree. Kyrie just dribbles more. I think they both got it on a yo-yo now. I think they both is, it's attached. I think Kyrie's is more. Here's a perfect example.
Kyrie, say it right.
Situational. So, like, if you trap Kyrie, like, he's going damn sham, spin, move, split between, come up with something very creative and nifty to get out of there. Steph just gonna take 2 retreat dribbles and get by. Like he's gonna take 2 retreats and get by. They both got it now.
And that's why I think Faise, you hit it right on the nail. Like Steph is not gonna do no extra dribble. It's nothing extra. It's just reading the situation and making an adjustment. Either you're gonna split, either you're gonna shoot, either you're gonna pass, you're gonna step. But Kyrie, what makes Kyrie great is he don't have to read because his handle is so great. Even though he's reading the situation, he don't have to. Because he's gonna put you in a blender. Both will put you in a blender. But Kyrie game is based on putting you on a blender. Steph game is like, all right, I don't have to put you in a blender all the time. I might just step back and just knock this 35-footer or whatever on you. Or I could just split. Both of them could split. But Steph, like, I could split, step back. It's just 2 different types of games. But if I have to prefer one over the other, I would prefer Steph game. I would prefer Steph. He makes it look so easy.
Yeah, Jay, I'm taking Steph. If I got to start a team,
of a team, who you taking? Steph or Curry? Give me Steph. I'm taking
Steph.
I've been like that though. That ain't changed. It's been like that. I ain't changing. Everybody was going crazy with the whole Dame and Steph thing. I was like, bro, I remember when we was talking about this in the bubble, and Brandon kept bringing up the whole 3-point streak, and I was like, bro, I don't care about none of that.
I wish Brandon was here right now, like for real. When he come back, when we do another show, we're gonna bring this back up because he has the answer about this Stephen Curry performance.
Yeah, and I get what he was saying. Dame is Dame hit the most threes over 50 feet in the year, blah, blah, blah. The year that Steph didn't play. Like, cool. Like, I don't, but we know what's going on. And I think Steph just had to remind people, like, I was like, I'm top 5, bro.
I'm that big. I'm that big. He had to remind people that he's that big.
Yeah, but see, but I don't get that. I understand, like why do people live in the now, like to certain things? You know what I'm saying? To certain things. What's up? What you making me for?
Huh?
What's up? What we talking about?
Till the world is flat, ain't no Batman. Sherm, cut it out.
I mean, trying to get like people like Stephen Curry got hurt for 1 year. Stephen Curry got hurt for 1 year, and then now he's just not good anymore. Like, he's just not good anymore to people, or he's not like, you just forgot about that. Like, it's Steph. He changed the game of basketball for shooting threes, bro. You got to guard this man full court 24/8. And I know I
just want to touch on it, but I don't want to go into it because we did last night. This is why. Maybe I may not articulate things the right way through our text, our production meetings. But this is why I get on you and Brandon about dismissing a whole era of basketball, saying that they wasn't good.
Nobody didn't say that it wasn't good, but right now, if we were to say this right now, please, the people that's looking at this right now, he believes that Sean Kipp is better than LeBron. See
again. You're twisting my words.
Well, what are you saying? You gotta.
I said if Kemp played today in today's game, where a guy that's 6'10" is able to handle the ball, it would be a different conversation. That's everything. Go back. That's all I said. I said that from day one. It would be a different, because Sean Kemp can shoot the three at 6'10". He could get to the rack at 6'10". He could post up at 6'10". He played defense and block shots at 6'10". And he hit the mid-range jump shot at 6'10". That's all I ever said. You guys keep saying I said he was better than LeBron. I just said if he played in today's game, it would be a different conversation. The same thing I said about LeBron and Tracy McGrady or Scottie Pippen. Y'all just think I'm crazy because y'all don't respect the guys. No, y'all don't think that the guys that I'm naming is at LeBron's level. And I'm tired of talking about LeBron, but y'all don't respect the guys. I'm not saying it's no disrespect to be a bigger, stronger version of Scottie Pippen. He ain't no Jordan. And that's my only argument. He's not no Jordan.
I think that's the one thing people do too when you talk about staying in the moment. I think people stay in the moment so much that they're eager to throw away. They're eager to throw away the greatness before it and to like what's going to come. So perfect example is like undoubtedly what we're witnessing right now with LeBron is probably one of the greatest, like the longest primes that we've ever seen. Right.
Yes.
Also, but what has to be taken into consideration is that like technology and everything has changed to where he can afford to put $1 million into his body. Like,
and I don't think the game has changed where it's not that physical.
Like people, I think it's a little less physical, and I agree. Like definitely the flagrants and how all that stuff is just for sure. That's not even close. Like Bill Laimbeer getting punched in the face. You see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar literally haul back and punch Bill Laimbeer in the face.
They wasn't getting thrown out the game. They wasn't getting thrown out. It was just a regular common foul.
Common foul. So
that's just.
That part has changed tremendously. But I think that to say when people say they don't think like LeBron could have played in that era or that Jordan wouldn't have lasted here because he's not skilled enough, it's like, yo, shut up, bro. Like, what are we talking about? Like let's really. That's why those kind of conversations I can only have with like basketball people. Because like when somebody says, yeah, LeBron couldn't have played in the 80s, I'm like, so you're tripping. I was like, he could have. He would have been fine. Now, would he been able to, because he's good enough. Here's what we don't take into account too. He's a good enough player to where he would have adjusted to not being able to flop. And that's just what it is. He would have figured that out. Like, damn, I can't flop. I can't throw my head back. So I ain't getting that call. So I'm just gonna go to the rim and do. Since they not calling fouls for me, I'm about to start trucking dudes.
This guy, see, I'm not gonna mess. I'm sorry.
What do you say? I think
these are conversations that now you guys see what I go through every day. you guys see what I go through every day.
No, that's funny. That's funny. But that's the difference, though. You know what I'm saying? And then people like, oh, Jordan wouldn't have done well in this era, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, so he wouldn't have done well with getting hand checked every 5 seconds and they call him foul? I was like, what? Like, what are we talking about? So I don't know. Ray, to answer your question, I think people get lost into what's happening currently and very quick to throw somebody else under the rug. That's why so long ago I was always like, I felt like Steph was better than Rusty. And then Rusty hit that long streak. He's like, Faise, he's getting MVPs. I said, I don't care. I know who the better basketball player is. Like, I know who the better basketball player is. So that's just, you know.
And that's why I always – could LeBron have played during that era? Yes. But again, the philosophy and this is what I keep saying every time we had this conversation, the philosophy was different during that time. It wasn't too many 6 guys because the game was played inside out. It wasn't too many big guys. Even that's why I bring up Sean Kidd that could put the ball on the floor, that could handle, that could shoot and do X, Y, and Z. They was really restricted to being out of box. That don't exist in today's game at all. It doesn't exist. So who's to say if LeBron would have been back in that time that he wouldn't have been on the box? Who's to say it wouldn't have happened? Because really, when LeBron came in the league, and I always, people love to think I don't give LeBron credit. LeBron worked on his skill set, and it's funny because this if you guys go to YouTube, they're comparing. Bron reached out to Gilbert Arenas to evaluate his son, Bronny. And Gilbert Arenas' assessment was, well, your son at this age, at 15, he shoots better than you, dribble better than you. He even jumps higher than you. He said, now you were bigger and faster. You were bigger and faster. And LeBron said, you're dead on. Now, again, that's all I'm saying. Like, and if I say that, if I compare Tracy McGrady to LeBron, it's because I see the same thing that Gilbert Arenas see in his youngest son at 15 and LeBron now. As time went on, LeBron worked on his game. Now he can hit the 3. But he's still limited in his game. He's an athletic freak of nature. Yes. And the longevity part, I got my own opinions about him being able to do what he's doing at this time, but
he's from Asgard, man. He's from the same place Thor's from, bro. Asgard. Wherever Thor from, Superman. Where's Superman from? Krypton. Wherever he's from, that's where Thor from.
And he ain't getting nothing that we all are. So he's getting something that everybody else is getting. I ain't gonna say what it is, allegedly. But I'm cool with it. I'm fine with it, and I respect it. But all I'm saying is that I see certain flaws in his game. That doesn't mean that I don't think he's a great player. But why can't I have my opinion on him? Because I seen guys that I feel were better than him. Why do I have to hate this guy because I seen guys that I feel did certain things better than him?
Gotta respect that.
That's all I'm saying. I'm done with that. I'm not talking about Bron.
Yeah, we're gonna move on
again.
So basically, is one more thing that I need you guys to speak on because I already spoke about it, and then we're gonna move along to other things. Nikola Jokic, he's averaging a triple-double. Now, Faise, I want to start off with you because the last time, not being on the funny though, even though it is funny because you have your thing with Jokic.
Forever. That's funny.
But when Brandon, shout out to Brandon, he's not here right now. Shout out to our guy B Monk. He'll be here next week or possibly this week. if we do another one. But Brandon brought it up. He said this, and I gotta give him his props because he said that what if Nikola Jokic, what if the Joker averaged a triple double? Face, when he said that, you came out your mouth and like you waved, like you feel me? Like you was like, it's too early. But he's leading the league in assists as a big man. Like he is. He's 25, 11, 11. He's number one in assists. Denver's winning games. I mean, is he the MVP if he continue to keep doing this?
So he's definitely an elite passer. I don't think that's ever been questioned. Just leave it. I don't think that's ever been within question. I didn't think he was going to keep. Well, it's early. I'm not going to say I didn't think this is possible. But if he leads the league the whole year, I mean, it's just like LeBron did last year, though. Like LeBron led the league in assists last year. Some dudes are just like the best passers on their team, and just because they played a big or played a 4 or played a 3 or listed at whatever they're listed at doesn't mean they're not the best option at point guard for that team. And LeBron was clearly the best option at point guard, except with the exception of Rondo being on the floor. And the same thing goes for Joker. Like he's their best option at point guard. Because Jamal Murray's more of a 2, you know what I mean? But who can pass the ball a little bit. But I will say this. I definitely didn't think he was going to be able to keep up with how he's doing right now. If the season were to end today, is he the MVP? It depends. Are we doing, because the MVP has changed in the past couple of years. Like it used to just go to the best player on the best team. That's what it used to just always be. But then they realized they didn't want to give it to Mike for like 8 years in a row. So they kind of went away from that. Then they went back to it and Steve Nash, got him. And then, when Kobe was better at the time, and then Kobe got his, Chris Paul had a better year. So it depends how it's going, I guess. If the MVP were to end today, I think they would give it to Steph, honestly. If it were to end today, literally right now. But holistically, yeah, I think he would be a top guy, but I don't think he'd get it. To answer the question.
Okay. Sherm, what's up with how you feel about the Joker averaging a triple double as a center?
It's still too early. My answer is always going to be too early. And plus, numbers do lie. There's a lot of hockey assists. Like numbers do lie. I can't take nothing away from what he's doing. But I wasn't really too big on Westbrook with his triple doubles, because nobody, if you think about it, but you would not know what I'm talking about if you can't in this era. It's easy to get 10 rebounds now because nobody on the offensive end of the ball really crashed the boards no more and rebound. Once the shot goes up, everybody's running to the on the defensive end.
Ooh.
Like nobody's really crashing the boards. I just don't think it's hard. I just don't think it's hard to get a triple double today.
That's John Collins?
Yeah, no, Mr. 120. He's talking about Gordon Hayward.
Yeah,
okay. Good for him.
But the numbers do lie though. Like
15 for 25, and they beat the Hawks.
Numbers do lie though, man. There's no defense today, man. You can't foul nobody today.
By the way, Face, John Collins did go crazy for you. That makes you feel better. He had 23. He did his thing. What is it? 23 and 11 in the loss. So he did his thing. LaMelo had 16 points and 8 rebounds and 5 assists off the bench. He's playing crazy right now, but I'm glad that he just said something about Gordon Hayward because Sherm, I think you're gonna be smiling a lot today. Let's talk about your Knicks.
What about them? They won again?
The Jazz 112 to 110. Julius Randle had 30. It looked 30. Julius Randle, that's another guy that we possibly can say.
He's been killing him. He'll get most improved if he stays like that. He's been killing.
Julius Randle, 30 points, 16 rebounds, and 7 assists. He did go 0 for 5 for the 3, but it don't matter because they won the game.
He dropped.
The Knicks making the playoffs?
No, he can't. I'm not going that far. But he dropped the weight, and I said this last Wednesday. He dropped the weight. He's in good shape. You can see that he's in good shape. You know, honestly, I think he's just playing for his next contract right now.
And that's the best thing you could do in that situation.
Yeah, play for your next contract. Anything that the Knicks do at this point, like I said, it takes a quarter of a season to really figure out who teams are.
Well, as of today, we'll take Julius Randle in Charlotte, and you know who I'm replacing.
You said what?
I said we'll take Julius Randle in Charlotte, and you know who I'm replacing. You know who can go.
Come on, baby.
You know who can go. I'm not gonna say it, but you know who can go.
Why don't you like him?
I don't dislike him, but why do we keep drafting dudes like that? Why? Like why? Why? Stop doing that. Stop. We keep trying to catch this. You know who we're trying to catch? We're trying to catch.
Hey, Sherm,
you know what's crazy is we had Christian Wood on our G League team for like 2 years. You know that?
Yeah, I do. He was with the Hornets. And then I think he went to Philly, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, when he played on the real team, like immediately. As soon as he got there, they put him on the real team. So I guess he just got that much better when he left. And I will say this, you know what? Charlotte might be the problem because, you know, Dwayne.
I'm sorry to cut you out. At the time, you had Frank. You had.
You just say Frank.
I'm just saying what y'all had. The reason why he wasn't on the main team. This is not me speaking. This is what the organization was possibly thinking. Y'all drafted Frank Kaminsky. Y'all had Wiz.
There you go, another 4-man that failed.
Y'all had Cody Zeller. And he might have been in the team when Dwight was there, maybe.
He could have been. Dwight was great for us, so I'm cool with Dwight.
So that's probably why he never got his shot in Charlotte. That's what I'm saying. Sherm, apparently Jay believed that you're a Brooklyn fan when you crossed the bridge. But
you see Dwayne Bacon is still for the Magic.
Dwayne Bacon is starting for the Magic, and he's from Florida too. That's what
I'm saying. And he played for Charlotte, and we kept putting him in the G League.
Yeah, and he came off the bench for you guys too. Came off the bench, but he wasn't even playing playing time. Malik Monk wants out.
As he should, but Malik Monk's got some issues off the floor where he can't. He likes to indulge in other activities a little too much, so he got to chill.
Well, he wants out.
Yeah, his ass gonna be in Europe before you know it. That's what's gonna happen. Yeah, for real. He on his way to Europe. On his way. So, and I just screamed we should have took Donovan Mitchell that year, but I'm not even gonna get into that.
That's very tough. Hey, but looking like y'all did the right move now. Y'all got LaMelo.
Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool with Melo.
They have too many guards. It's too many guards, man. Somebody gonna have to go.
Yeah,
somebody's going.
Yeah. Somebody gotta go. Gotta go this year if they wanna
Somebody's gonna go.
They wanna handle the situation.
Well, you gotta basically pay up on your bet. Like you got Devontae, and you have Terry. And then you have LaMelo. So it's like, if we drafted LaMelo, are we going to go balls to the wall with him and throw everything we got at him and see how he does? And do we let go of the most productive guy that we had last year? So, you know, or do we let go of the dude that we paid all that money to? So we're going to lose in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? We're going to lose in some way, shape, or form. It's just, where do you want to lose at?
Yeah. That's a tough decision to make, but I guess that's what the business is for. Raptors, I know it's early term. That's going to be your answer, so I'm going to direct it to me and Face, but chime in and feel free whenever you want to talk about it. Pascal has not looked like Pascal. Like, he has not been looking like, Spicy P since the bubble, once they got back to the bubble. And it's kind of carrying over. I know that the Raptors are used to playing in Canada. They're in Tampa Bay, which, is new for them. But they're losing a lot of games. And to you, Face into your argument, if we're gonna say, you said that it's balanced. If they continue to keep losing games, they might not make the playoffs. Into your argument, since you're saying the East is balanced, or can they make the playoffs with a bad record? As history always shown since 2000 area. Like,
so I don't know if the Raptors. I think losing Mark Gasol hurt more than they realized. I think losing Serge hurt more than they realized. I think that I want to make sure I say this right. So I think that Pascal was a little overrated. Like, I think we were living in the moment with him too. All right, he had some good games, and he was a very opportunistic player. Like, I think that's what saved him. Just like the whole OG thing. OG's cut from the same cloth as Harrison Barnes, if you ask me. Where I think he's a good fourth guy, like, that can win you some games and help you out. But is he a guy that we're gonna say, all right, we're gonna slide you all the way to the second guy, and we want you to get busy? No, not him. So cut from the same cloth as Andrew Wiggins too. Same thing, except for Harrison Barnes is more of a winner than Andrew Wiggins. But I think they just are struggling now as far as depth in the league. I think I don't know. I think there's less clarity there. But that's really it. I think that I still don't think that takes away from the depth in the league. When you still talk about Miami, Boston, Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, I feel like I'm missing somebody.
Hawks are 4-4 now, all 4 straight.
Well, I didn't believe that whole Hawks person. I wasn't paying any attention. Did you check out your boy Cam Reddish for the Hawks tonight?
No, I didn't check him out. I
want you to look at his stats, and then I want you to look at Herter and DeAndre Hunter. I just want you to take a look at him.
I guess by the way you're talking, you already took a peek at it.
Don't worry about it. I'll go ahead and read it out to you. It's right here. So, Herter, 19 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. DeAndre Hunter, 17 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Cam Reddish, 8 points, 2 assists, 4 rebounds.
So we're going to always, look at one game when somebody does that. Because, I mean, you have a point right now. He didn't have a good game, but I'm pretty sure I can look back when Hunter didn't have a good game, John Collins, and Trae Young had 7 points tonight. So what am I going to say? But Trae Young is not his best.
Trae Young's body of work is better. DeAndre Hunter's body of work is better than Cam Reddish. So is Herter.
I don't know about DeAndre Hunter body of work is better. Now, Kevin, now, Herter, I'm with you on that.
Yeah,
I'm good with you on that. But DeAndre Hunter, I'm not about to just, nah. But he's good though. He's good. He's good. Yeah, and he's having a better season. I went back and watched after we had talked about that. I went back and watched like 2 of their games. And to your defense, and I was saying on camera, you're right. Right as of right now today. It looking like he's going to get paid before Cam Reddish. I'm telling you that right now. You're absolutely right about that. And I wanted to wait until you get on the phone to say that. I didn't want to tell you that in text.
Yeah, and I only say that because Cam Reddish is just so – what's crazy is he's very Paul George-ish. Like, he looks like he's about to be the next best thing that you've ever seen. And then he'll go out there and get you 2 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist. And it's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, what's going on? Like, what are we doing? So – but no, I appreciate that. You always know what you're talking about, but I just feel like he's just the least productive out of all of this. Like, he's the least productive. So,
like I said, man, when I'm wrong about something, I'll let you know. But I ain't gonna let you say something I ain't said before. Hell no. I'll give you a credit. But what do we think the best team in the East right now? As of today, right now, of the record, right now, I'll have to say Philadelphia. Today. Just because they're the best, they got the best record in the NBA. Right now. As of today.
Faze, I'm gonna let you go. I'm gonna let you go.
Best team in the East is probably I like Boston. I mean, just because of how they're playing right now. Record-wise, I guess it is Philly. I see Indiana's cooled off quite a bit.
I mean, they just won.
Yeah, but then they just lose 2 in a row. I thought they lost like 2 in a row.
They won. Miles Turner hit the 3-pointer to send them to overtime. They won against the Pelicans. They beat the Rockets today. They lost. Yeah, they beat the Rockets today. They have a 2-game winning streak.
I thought they lost yesterday. I watched them just lose.
Now you're talking about the game before. Then yeah, they lost, but today they beat the Rockets, and then the game before that they went to overtime with the Pelicans and they won.
Okay, my mistake. Well, the Rockets suck.
Damn. Chris play tonight.
They're bad. Best team in the East. I have a hard time saying it's Philly. I'm still going with Brooklyn for now. It ain't Milwaukee. I can tell you that.
We ain't gonna get tell you that. I'm gonna let you be on that one.
Oh, as a matter of fact, when I named 5 Eastern Conference teams, I didn't even say the Pacers. The Pacers, I didn't even say them. So that's 6 really, really good teams, I feel like.
All right, Sherm, that's all on you.
In the East, who has the best 2 players on the floor every night? Because that's what it all comes down to with basketball. Who has the best 2 players on the floor? I don't care which level we talking about. Who has the best 2 players on the floor? The Brooklyn Nets. They have the best 2 players, and even without Dinwiddie, they still have the best guys around them in the East by far.
Yeah, Jared Allen in his first start, he went freaking crazy yesterday.
They got the best team on the floor. Even without Dinwiddie, they got the best team on the floor. They have the best role players on the floor.
Rebounds. Crazy.
Yesterday. And he was playing D. And he was blocking shit. He was doing a little bit of everything. That's what he finishing at the rim.
That's what he do, though.
Then you had Harris knocking down the threes. They're the best team in the East by far, with the best 2 players on the floor every night.
Can't get Brooklyn. It's crazy. You a Knicks fan, but you being real. But you're being real.
I can never. I'm not biased, man. I just call it how I see it. I'm not biased, man. Okay. I'm not biased at all.
So last week, during the ending of our segment, we ended up speaking. I knew Sherm was going to say that. Last week, we ended up talking about. We actually got off of the NBA and NFL. We got to start talking about some real talk, as in what you guys can give back to the youth as coaches. And a lot of people was rocking with that. I think it's something that we should speak on before we get off, and then after that, that'll be it. As coaches, as coaches, what are the biggest challenges right now for kids that's trying to get to college? That's how the world is being going on right now, and how can they overcome like adversity right now?
I'll take the lead on this. One, as far as school, everything is totally different because it all goes back to the grades. But every state right now is going through is doing things on the fly. Because I know in New Jersey it's a different set of rules. Like they're letting 19-year-olds come back that's basically missed the whole year high school basketball. They're being able to come back and play. They could register into a community college or whatever and still play high school ball. Like each state has different rules.
What?
Yeah, that's how Jersey is doing.
What?
So
if I'm a senior right now, if I'm a senior today, I can graduate in May and then go to New Jersey Tech and come back and play at your high school?
There's no New Jersey Tech.
But you know what I mean. Like,
but you could go to a community college, a JUCO, in Jersey,
and come back and play at my high school that I graduated from.
Yeah. That's like it's and again, every state. This is something that we all have never experienced. Faise, I said the same thing. I'm like, damn, I wish I came up with this.
Jeez, yeah. What?
You could go take You can register into college at a JUCO and still play for your area high school. See, but the thing with that is a lot of the public schools are concerned because if you got a stud, they're probably going to go to a Catholic school or something like that where it's a better opportunity. But at the end of the day, my advice is to make sure that you're getting, because this virtual thing is something that's different, even as far as my kids. It's something that's different than we all experience. Everybody experience. I don't care what generation you came from. You gotta make sure that you focusing on this virtual learning and don't fall behind education wise, because you will be pushed ahead. They will push you ahead, but at the end of the day, you gotta also make sure again, it's not just all about sports. It's making sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do as far as the virtual, because this is your college right here. If you're a junior, senior, if you're in high school, period, even this is your college years right here. Where 9 times out of 10 you're at home, and your mother or father, if you're blessed to have your mother and father in the same house, or if you're just a one parent, nobody's there to make you do what you're supposed to do. So you're gonna have to take on the responsibility at this age, even if you're in grade school or middle school or high school, to take on the responsibility to do what you got to do as far as this virtual. Because at the end of the day, if you're not getting it done, you're not gonna play.
So let me answer this for Jay. So the reason why I don't think that's right is because high school is not college. You know what I'm saying? Like college, you have eligibility and you go through it and you move. Like if these kids want an extra chance to keep playing the following year, they need to go post grad or go to a JUCO in redshirt and play college basketball at 19.
Faise. I agree. But like, again, every state, I'm pretty sure every state throughout the country is doing it different.
Exactly. And that was gonna be my
how
next
Jersey is doing it.
That we got kids. It's inconsistent. So if I coach it wherever I coach and I go up to some school in New Jersey and I like a kid and then I find out, now is it going to change how I recruit them? Well, yes and no, because if you're taking these college classes and you're not doing well and you're failing them all just so you can go play to high school, just so you can turn around and come play JUCO anyway because you failed all your classes, then hell yeah, I'm upset. Because now you just took a spot away from a kid that probably could have been or should have been on the team, or taking some playing time away from a kid when you should have already been in there and you're not handling your business and you ended up going to have to go JUCO anyway. So you just delayed the inevitable. Like all you did was delay what was going to happen regardless. And I also don't think you don't want to blur that line between college and high school like that. Like if you blur it that close, then it's going to start getting real finicky. Like basically saying, oh, now I got high school eligibility. And obviously you have eligibility regardless. But like, where has it ever been where you get 5 years of high school without you having to go reclass or post-grad somewhere? Like to say that I just graduated from Laney High School class of 2020, or I guess it'd be 2021, class of 2021. And then we only got to play, let's say 2 or 3 games my senior year because of COVID. And then I get to go to Cape Fear or Brunswick and then still turn back around and go play at Laney again.
I said the same. Once I got the word, I said the same thing. But
yeah, I don't like that. I just don't like it. It's because it isn't. And here's the main reason why I don't like it, because it's not going to happen everywhere in the country. So that's why I really don't like it. Like if you said we were doing that for every single high school kid in the country, then it is what it is. But then you know what? What do you do with it? It still puts them in the same spot because all these college basketball players, all of them get their year back. So you know what I'm saying? Brandon Wild, go ahead, Brandon. I hope y'all won, by the way. I hope y'all won.
You got the dub, but that's go ahead, Faise.
No, that's it. And then as far as my advice, I think if you're a high school senior, if you're a high school junior, at the end of the day, you just got to understand that whatever opportunity you have is whatever opportunity you have. And in your senior year and this summer coming up, don't take it for granted and you should work harder. For the guys that are seniors, I think you have to, Sherman, you know this more than anything, especially with the elite AAU program and stuff. Relationships have got to be built. So now you really have to.
Chill out, B. You know you still on.
Go ahead, man.
Nah, but tell him log in, man. He can.
Yeah, come on, you can get on.
Log in.
But what's crazy is that I think that kids, you have to rely on relationships now, and a coach's word without being able to see the campus, without being able to do things, and you just got to pay attention to who you really play for. Especially in the times of the world that we're having right now and things that were happening today. If you have a coach that didn't speak up about that in some way, shape, or form, or at least have an opinion, I think that's an issue. You know what I mean? Especially considering that 90% of the guys that play this sport look like us. You know what I mean? So I think that you got to just trust your relationships. You can't rush your process now anymore. And I think also kids need to learn how to play hard 24/7. That would save a ton of kids. You know what's crazy is playing hard now is like a skill. Back when, and this is gonna sound wild because back when I played wasn't that long ago, but when I came up playing, I felt like if you didn't play hard, that was like the minimal requirement. That was the bare minimum you had to do was play hard to be out there. And now you see a kid playing hard, that's a skill. It's like, oh man, he plays hard. And in my mind, it's like, well, I hope so. Damn, he better. Like that's what he out here for.
That's what he's supposed to do. To
give it all. So advice to high school kids, play every game like it's your last. Take care of your body as much as you can. And understand that your friends, you're gonna lose some friends along the way. And lastly, but not least, hooping is not for everybody, and that's okay. Like everybody ain't cut out to be a college basketball player. And I'm not saying that don't mean you're not good enough. It's not what nobody's saying, but mentally it takes a different type of dude and a different type of aspect to be able to play, to go to a prep school, then go to a JUCO, then go play the 4-year, and then want to pursue the dream after that. Because that just takes a different type of dude, and everybody's not built for that. So that's for parents too. You may have invested X amount of money into your son or daughter for whatever sport, for whatever reason, and then all of a sudden they decide they don't want to up and play anymore, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, when that process that you invested that money into them through that whole process and that time should have just helped them build character as a man or a woman. You know what I'm saying? To be able to step into society and be a good member in society. So that's just kind of how I've always looked at that. Like, it's cool and all, and I will say I had the times of my life more so playing in college and high school. But I've seen a lot of dudes fall by the wayside, and it just wasn't for them. But that doesn't make them any less than a man or a woman. You know what I'm
saying? So I get it, but it's happening every day. You have parents who reclass their kids because of sports. At the end of the day, we're losing sight of the goal, which is education. Your talent can only take you so far. Coaching football, I can have a kid who should, and then I can't read the rates.
He said I should have a kid that should be playing high school football, but he's playing 7th and 8th graders because he reclassified. I agree, Jay. And that's my point.
How much parents got to understand it's not your dream; it's the child's dream.
Absolutely,
it's not your dream. Like it might have been something that you wanted to do. And I tell parents all the time, "Hey, look, that your kid, especially at an early age, 11." They might get to high school and not even want to play basketball anymore. They might be a 12-year-old phenom, but once they get to high school and everybody else's athletic ability and skill level and talent, IQ is catching up, they just average. Like so, they might not even want. Their dream might not even want to be a basketball player. You can't force your kids to be basketball. You can be or football, whatever sport. You could be classified kid. That doesn't mean that kid is going to be successful in high school. It doesn't mean that. Allow your child to develop and be what they want to be. For sure. They might want to be a YouTuber. They might want to be a YouTuber. They might want to be a gamer. It's a different world we living in today. It's a totally different world. Everybody's sports is just not for everybody. And one thing too, as far as the kids, like you have to be willing to do what everybody else is not doing. That's anything in life. Like you have to be willing to, if you got to get up at 5:30 in the morning and go running, if you have to get up at 5:30 in the morning and do push-ups, if you have to go get up 5:30 in the morning and do a workout, you have to be willing to do those things, not just in the morning, but like Faye said, you're gonna lose some friends. You might not go to your prom. You might not be able to go to hang out. But if sports is your goal, no matter what it is in life, if your goal is to be X, Y, and Z, you're gonna lose friends. You're not gonna be able to hang out. You're not gonna be able to chill. You're not gonna be able to be on a video game or on your phone. You have to put your focus into that 24/7, and that's how you be successful. That's what separates. And I'm gonna use LeBron. That's what separates LeBron even at this age at 36. That's what separates him from everybody else, because he still have that goal, that focus, and that dedication and that sacrifice to be the best.
Yeah, one thing that's deep,
Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah,
whoever.
And one thing that's deep that we talk about all the time, that we ask our guys, because obviously we got guys that want to play at a high level. We say, do you want what it feels like or what it looks like?
Mm-hmm.
Which one is it? Do you want what it looks like to play Division I, where you you get to charter your flights, and that's not every Division I. Let's not get that twisted neither. But where you get all this gear and you get this full scholarship and you get this and you get that. Do you want what it feels like, or do you want what it looks like? Because what it feels like is you just had a 24-hour day where you slept a full 8 hours because you took care of your body. You got up and you went to weights, then you went to class, then you went to individuals, then you did 3 hours of study hall, then you had practice, then you went back to study hall, then you called your little girl or whoever it is to come over and help you with your homework, rub you back and go to sleep, and you start all over again. And you didn't get the post before you walked in the gym. I'm on the gram, blah, 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 and all this and all that. And I ask myself that every day. Like, I'm like, do you want what it looks like or do you want what it feels like? I said, because everybody wants D1, and I'm not even gonna say D1. Everybody wants a scholarship and to see what it looks like. And then, I have some of my guys now that, even don't understand what it's like to play Division III or NAIA or junior college. They're just like, oh, I just thought this level was this and this level was that. I was like, I can go get a couple D3 dudes right now that would tear y'all asses up, and it won't even be funny. Like, you're gonna be looking at me like, oh, I didn't know. I said, yeah, I can go get them now, right now. You're not gonna like it. So,
you gotta respect the game. Like, if this is what you want to do, you gotta respect the game. And
you gotta love the grind. You gotta respect and love the grind.
Respect and love the grind. Yeah, you gotta respect. Like, you gotta respect the game. Like, don't always tell people this. Like, when people be wanting to work out with me, you know what I'm saying? Like in high school or even in college too, I'll be like, you want to work out with me? All right, we can work out. Like, or I can work you out. But like, are you going to do it? Like, cause I'm gonna push myself. That's why I was always told, when I was young, you get better when you dolo. Of course you're gonna work out, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna have somebody to push you, but can you push yourself when nobody's in the gym? Or are you just gonna BS and just shoot some threes or anything like that? So you gotta respect it. You gotta respect the game. Like, no matter what level you on, you gotta be ready. Once that ball going up in the air, you lace some shoes up, you gotta be ready to go. But you have to be prepared. Like you said, Sherman, push-ups. You know what I'm saying? Doing everything. Same thing with you, Face. Like, why you on Instagram for? Like, you know what I'm saying? You can be the top guy in high school. Go to a D1 school just because it's D1. But that don't mean you're gonna play.
Not even close.
That don't mean
everybody at D1 was a star somewhere else.
Yeah, but you went D1, you feel me? You went D1 to look good. You post your offers and everything like that. Now, by all means, congratulations to you getting that scholarship. But it's like, now when you got there, what's up? Like, what's now? Like, now you got there, you got somebody from Wisconsin. They all there.
All state. They were all state.
Now it's time. You playing against that person who's hungry as you, or just as talented as you, and are better than you, ranked higher than you. Now you got to play up against other people who's taller than you, because that's all it is with the levels. It's just all about the body. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if I'm wrong, Faith, you can help me out with that. I feel like D1 is just that. It's just taller, more athletic. Like for as a whole, I mean,
I wouldn't even maybe as a whole, yeah, but I wouldn't even say that because I can go. I'll use North Carolina for an example, and this is by no disrespect to anybody, and that because I don't know what coaches that I see or talk to on a regular basis might see this, but again, I can name 2 or 3 D2s and D3s that have played in close scrimmages with D1s, and the D1 is getting 30 ball. You know what I'm saying?
I know you got Queens.
Yeah, you got to get 30 ball. Yeah. So and I coached the team. Well, I was an assistant coach on the team where we ended up having like 6 Division I guys on that team, and we played Queens a couple years ago. And now they had a dude obviously that was a pro. Well, they had like 3 pros on that team, but they beat us by like 50. You know what I'm saying? Like 50-50. Like not it got out of hand. Like, no, they beat us by 50. Like 20 minutes each time, and then each time we lost by double-digit more, and you added it up, we lost by 50. So I don't even think that D1, D2 stuff doesn't matter in the sense of logistics and things of that nature. Yes. Does it always speak to a kid's talent level? Absolutely not. Because there's plenty of kids that play D2 that should be playing Division I and vice versa. Plenty of kids that play Division I that should be playing D2. I always tell kids, go where you're wanted. Go where who's going to let you rock out. Go with who's going to support you and let you play through your mistakes. That's who you go and play for. You go play for people like that. You don't go play for and I'll give you a perfect example because it's happening a lot now, especially in the climate that we're in. If I'm, Carter Monk and I've got an offer from UNC and Duke and West Virginia but those are my only 3 like really big offers. But then I've got like Davidson and VCU and blah 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 and all these other places. And then I know when I walk into the VCU, I'm about to work my tail off. I'm gonna have to bust my behind, but I'm not going against 5 McDonald's All-Americans every day, like 5 other McDonald's All-Americans. So yeah, Carolina's cool. That's what's up, And I don't want to say this wrong because if it's a kid's dream school, then you sign and you just live with the consequence. Like if you're good enough to play at your dream school, you go there and play, you do what you got to do, and then you figure it out. But I'll use Carolina as a perfect example and a North Carolina kid who I think is a good kid. Brandon Huffman is a perfect example. He went to Carolina, matter of fact, and the kid that's at A&T now, Blake Harris. Both of those kids went to high major schools coming out. And when I saw them play personally as someone who evaluates talent on a regular basis, did I think those 2 dudes were good enough to go play at Missouri and go play at Carolina? Without question, I thought they were good enough. Did I think they were good enough to go in there and play immediately and start and all that? No, I did not. And that's just completely honest. And now one plays at A&T, the other plays at Jacksonville State. And guess what they both do now? They both start and play 30-plus minutes. So just imagine if somebody was having that conversation in their ear, like, hey, Carolina's cool and all, and I'm not saying that you're not good enough to play there, but do you want to be on the team or do you want to play? Like, what are we talking about? So I think it's just realistic conversations coming from guys like us, adults, especially more so me and Sherm because we're a little older, and Brandon will start getting a taste of that now. Ray, you're going to get back into coaching, and I'm sure you will. That's going to be the conversations that are realistic and transparent, but the tricky part about that is Sherm kind of got on this earlier. Just because I don't like a guy's game don't mean I'm hating on him. Like, I just don't like your game. So if I tell a kid that, oh, you shouldn't be shooting threes like that, am I telling you can't shoot threes? No. What I'm saying is the past 14, you're 1 for 14. So let's do some other shit. I'm not hating on you. I'm telling you what needs to happen.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's just what it is.
I keep saying everybody's not Stephen Clay.
Everybody's not Stephen Clay.
Even in the NBA, everybody's not Stephen Clay. Like, I love Steph, but he changed the game. He changed the game where he got everybody thinking they can shoot threes, and that's not your game. That's not your game. B, what's up, man?
What's up, B? Did you win?
Welcome.
What's up, man?
We miss you, man. We miss you.
Did y'all win?
I miss y'all too. Yeah, we got the dub, brother. We got the dub. Yeah, man.
Who'd y'all
play?
Who'd y'all play?
Dixon High School.
Okay, so you was down the street.
Yeah,
like
Down
40
the crib.
minutes away.
Yeah. Grandma's house right up the road. So, yeah, I wasn't too far from the crib. But I got on my guys, man. We won by like 10. I told them we should have won by 25, but
Good.
it's all right, man. They got to get them nerves out. So I ain't mad though. I ain't mad, man. I'm enjoying myself. It's a new space.
That's what's up. Is that the first your first game as a coach?
Yeah, at the high school level, yeah, I've coached like rec and helped out with like AAU and stuff. But yeah, that's my first time on like somebody's sidelines officially, like at the high school or better level.
Hey man,
Did you coach the JV team too?
Yeah, no, I was JV. That's why I was saying earlier. I had to ride the bus with varsity.
Yeah.
Oh, so you didn't stay. Oh, so I thought you didn't stay with varsity, and you're not helping varsity out.
Yeah, I'm helping them, but it's like more like my own time. Like I don't have to pay for their practices, but I help like some of the bigs and stuff and try to get them right. And they got a long way to go. They lost tonight. And no offense, but when I was coming through, you took L to Dixon. Your season might as well head to the creek.
So by your face, said that they lose by 25 plus?
No, it's just like they have like, and I'm always like, I guess as you leave high school, you always feel like the competition is like a little different. But they legit, the team that our varsity lost to legit has one kid who I think can play like for real, like he's D2, D3, and the other guys are kind of just like
out there.
Yeah, like they probably sit the bench on my high school team, and that's usually how Dixon is. Dixon is an area basketball is not like
prevalent.
Like it is.
Yeah, not prevalent.
So, I mean, they got a long way to go, man. But I put in a lot of sweat with that JV squad. I'm proud. They got the dub. So
okay, that's what's up. Well, I mean, you came in a little late, but we got it. We it's all right though, because we know. But your voice got to be heard on one topic.
What's up?
That we talked on. Then after we get on to that.
Oh, right. He did bring up the Kim and Braun thing, but we.
Yeah, no, we ain't gonna. No, we not. That's not what I'm not going to talk about because you know what I'm saying. But it's one thing you do have to speak on before.
Oh yeah.
And that is Stephen Curry. And your and I mean, just hold on.
Y'all looking at me about Steph. I love Steph, but go ahead. I want to hear
you love Steph, but are you still feeling that same way like Dame with the threes after this 60-point performance? Where do you stand with this? We need to hear Brandon on this panel.
Yeah, I'm interested.
Hold on, before you say something, Brandon, we all said, damn, we wish Brandon was here for this. Mm-hmm. So now you're here.
Okay, so I want everybody at home to hear me. I've always said Steph is the best shooter of all time. I've always said he's the second best point guard ever to me, and the best point guard of my generation. However, I don't think Steph is. I don't know. I know he's better than Dame. I guess I disagree on the gap. But yes, he came at Dame head top. And he reminded folks that he's that guy.
Are you those folks?
Huh?
Are you one of those folks?
No. In the chat that we in, I've always been Steph the best point guard in the game. But I will say this though, y'all can disagree. I don't think that they would guard each other for real. And I think if they had to primarily guard each other, I think Steph would be in some trouble too. Is that incorrect?
No, that's not incorrect.
Okay, and that's primarily what I've been saying.
They're gonna struggle guarding each other. Yeah, sure.
Yes, but there's a reason though. Like all gears go, they're healthy. There's a reason why Clay is guarding him. When Kevin Durant was there, Dame couldn't just go guard Clay or go guard Kevin Durant. He had to guard Steph. He had to take them licks. I just feel like Steph at the time couldn't do that. But I'm not crazy. I'm rooting for Steph. I love Steph. Steph's the best point guard. Definitely a top 5 point guard if you don't think he's second, but I think he. Besides, in the modern day, I can't rank Big O because I never watched Big O like at all. I can't put together 60 seconds of a highlight or anything like that, so I can't rank him. But in the modern day, 1980 and later, I think Steph's the second best point guard ever.
Second best point guard ever.
Yeah, and if he wins the MVP this year, it's not a crazy idea, Ray. You know how I feel about the Warriors. I don't feel like they're a good team. If he lead them to that playoffs and he's averaging 30 or better, he got to get considered for MVP.
I think he'll be in consideration regardless. I think he'll be a consideration no matter what.
But he's like top 2. He's like top 2 in that conversation. And oh yeah, by the way, Jokic is out here killing.
Yeah, we spoke about that. We spoke about that.
Yeah, just remember. Yeah,
bro,
that's
on me. That's
on me. That's on me. That's on me.
I'm asking, and I said I'm not taking nothing away from Steph.
There you go.
I love Steph, but better than the real Isaiah Thomas.
Oh wow!
I'm gonna be real,
but I say yes. I see where you're going.
I'm gonna be real.
I see where you're going.
I'm not Sherm. I'm not gonna sit here and me and you getting some very good arguments, very good debates.
That's why I missed you today.
If you got Isaiah Thomas over Steph, I'm not gonna say, "Oh, nah, you crazy there." I'm not gonna do all that. We could just on that one, at least on my end.
Disagree.
I can agree to disagree with that. But I got Isaiah top 5 though for certain. I think I got him third. To be honest,
you got him. You got him top 5 all time in point guard.
Yeah,
Isaiah was.
I'm not mad at that. I'm just now that you said that, I want to hear your 5. I'm not mad at that.
My 5.
5.
I used to put Big O in there by default, but if I'm talking from what I consider the modern day, I don't know. When was the merger again?
Shoot, like
70,
like 78. I don't know, something like that. Mid
70s. Big O was killing in the early 70s and the mid 70s, but towards the the merger and stuff, he was like not in his prime per se. So, but for the sake of it, I ain't gonna disrespect that man. He averaged a triple double. Magic, Big O, Steph, IT, the OG IT, and I was bigger on Stock, but I did some homework on Stock. But I can't think of anybody who I definitively want to put over him. So I'm gonna put him 5th for now. But I did my homework and I realized he used to get busted by GP and Penny and stuff like that. But he had a great long career that's undeniable. And the stuff he was able to do in all those years. And we always said it. If it wasn't for that man, as Sherm would say, he might have got him a ring or 2. So
and I'm glad because that's all I be asking for when I send you guys stuff about the 90s. Because even Mark Price, people don't give Mark Price credit.
Cavs up.
He was a killer. Mark Price was a killer. He invented the split. Like, that's all I be asking. When I send you guys certain things, that's all I be. Just get the guys their credit, man. I don't care who's better, because we always going to argue about who's better back and forth or whatever. But just get those guys their credit. And I'm not mad at you putting that stock in that 5. I'm not mad at that at all.
For me, he was for sure 5, and then like I started like just tapping into it, and somebody made a great point to me. They said that John Stockton at no point in time was ever the best point guard in his career. Like, the longevity was great and what he was able to accomplish, but they said in the 90s, in the 80s, obviously that was Magic and Isaiah. Then the 90s come around, Stock is killing. I mean, not Stock. GP's killing. Penny takes the lead by
a couple. It was a couple.
So
But
I thought it was interesting.
Here's the thing. Like we can't discredit Stockton.
Yeah.
And this is again why I keep saying like, yo, it was a lot of players during that time that was for real. The competition was so great. Like you can't take that away from Stockton. Because he was only 6'2", what, 6'2"?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was 6 even.
Yeah, that's generous. He's about 6 feet.
Yeah, but he played his role. But I tell you this, we are judged by our peers. And if you ask GP, you ask any other point guards in that era, they'll tell you the toughest point guard I had to play against was John Stockton.
Yeah.
They will say that.
Didn't say nothing to you, and we'll go get 15, 20.
See, but again, that's why I always go back to, like, during that time, the philosophy in the game was just different back then. Because when Iverson came, point guards played their role. They were the assist guys. Their role was just to run the offense, play defense, and set guys up. When it was time to score, they scored. But when AI came in, he changed the whole culture of the game because really nobody couldn't stay in front of him. So he just lit it up.
Yeah.
He lit it up. Okay. And that's why even go this. I'm gonna touch on this real quick. That picture I sent y'all with the who changed the 4 people that changed the game, what influenced the game. The only person that I didn't want to take out personally that should have been taken out and AI should have been in it was my guy. Kobe. And notice, I never mentioned Kobe. Now, Brandon, I was biased about that. I never mentioned Kobe because I didn't want to take him out.
Right.
But if anybody needs to come out, it was my guy Kobe.
I just say add who was left out? Steph was left out.
No, AI was left out.
Oh yeah. I just
said left out.
They said Kobe for his approach, which I understand. For his approach.
I understand it. I'm not this, but like
he didn't change the game.
Yeah, he didn't change the game.
Was his approach that much different than Mike's?
That's what I would say.
He didn't change the game.
It was more in detail. Like they said, it was just more that he was just that particular. Like I get, and I don't know how Mike had a little bit more arrogance than Kobe. So I doubt he wanted to prepare that much at times. I mean, I'm never gonna forget when my man, Kobe in the offseason says, when they would win the championship, he was like, man, I'm 3 weeks behind on other dudes because they've been working out for the past 3 weeks. Mike was like, well, I'm about to go golf for a month. So when I get back and I do what I got to do. So I don't know. But AI should be on there. But I don't know if AI changed the game from a basketball standpoint. I think he changed it more so from a cultural standpoint. You know what I'm saying?
He changed the point guard role and the cultural part.
Did he?
He changed the point.
He changed it before Kevin Johnson?
But Kevin Johnson was still a true point guard. Kevin Johnson. See, and I'm glad you brought that up, man. That's what keeps killing me. Because people got to stop acting like Kevin Johnson, Robert Pack, Baron Davis wasn't athletic in Stevie franchise. Like these guys couldn't play in today's game.
Oh, well, they definitely answered.
We got to stop that.
My favorite point guards was Scoop Jardine. I know y'all remember Scoop. Hey, man.
But KJ was still a pass. He was a pass first point guard who can score when needed to. Like he wasn't coming down trying to get 30. He would pass first and score when needed to score. And he played D, and he'd dunk on you when necessary. But AI changed the point guard role to the point where it's like, all right, I'm gonna go get 30.
Okay.
Dame, all these guys right now, outside of Steph, because Steph can, being that his father played the game, Steph can go either way. But all these point guards today, they're AI kids because they want to go get 30. They want to go get 40. They want to go get 50. assist is not their main thing. And that's why you can have even a guy like LeBron leading the league at 6'9", because he's smart enough to know, all right, let me distribute. Let me distribute. Then when they start thinking that this is where the IQ come in. When they start thinking that I'm passing, I'm gonna score. I'm gonna knock down his jump shot. Like, not too many point guards do that today. Their main focus is just scoring the basketball. And that's why, again, and I said this before in a prior podcast, there's no small point guard other than Isaiah Thomas, the real Isaiah Thomas, that has won a championship. You can't name him as the lead scorer or a guy that get buckets. But Isaiah knew the balance. He knew when to set guys up. And he knew when to destroy when he had to destroy.
That's why I got Steph in my top 3. It's because just point guards in general. I mentioned this like months ago. How many point guards can you say led a team to a championship? Like, arguably was the best player on the team. Magic, Steph, Isaiah. I think that's it.
Would you put Gary Payton in there?
They didn't win.
I thought they won.
Yeah, I meant lead them and win.
A lot of guys led to the championship. John Stockton led to the championship.
Yeah,
he didn't win.
But yeah, that's my point. It's only a few, and really, it's just Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, Steph. I think Steph gets 2015.
Now Steph is just different. Like
But that's what I'm saying. Like, our team.
Other than those two, there's really no one we can.
There is nobody.
But again, like Steph, I would say Steph had a better all-around team than Isaiah Thomas had.
See, and that's where I get into stuff too. Like, is Luka a point guard?
No.
Or is he just a good passer? Is he there? See, that's where I get at with when people are like, when we start talking about positions and Luka and all of this, and living in the moment earlier, like, appreciate you, Jay. But like Luka is, I don't think he's a point guard. I think he's a playmaker, just like Joker. I think Joker is a playmaker, like LeBron. LeBron is a playmaker. So like, you just happen to be the best ball handler on that team. You just happen to be the best passer on that team, which is tough to do now because you're on an NBA team. So no matter what position you play, if you turn out to be the best ball handler, best passer, best whatever, I don't think that makes you a point guard. I think Luka is in the right situation, doing the right things, and I think the same thing about Joker. Because like, I'm
gonna say this, but it also goes back to the philosophy of how the game is played today. Because now that the game is so spread out, where you can go to, and I'm gonna say this, then I'm gonna go back to something else. The game is so spread out where you could throw Joker or Luka the ball and just somebody cut and throw them a bounce pass and they score. That's an assist. Like back in the day, it was a different where everything was stuck in the paint and 3-point shoot. Like that's why I respect guards who got assists back in the day more, because it was harder. You had to draw the defense to drop it off for a guy to finish. Now everything is spread out. And I have to say this in respect to, and I always get on Brandon and Ray about like y'all didn't see the games. I saw the late Kareem. And I was on YouTube today. And I watched the Bucks Kareem.
Oh yeah.
The guy was amazing. His skill set was amazing. His passing was amazing. See, I just know the hook shot Kareem. And I'm like, man, honestly, he's a bum. So I'm looking at the hook shot. But he was 38, 39 when I seen him play. But when he was with the Bucks, he was very versatile. But again, as far as the philosophy, and even he had he would just get the ball, and as people cut, he'd dump it off to him, getting assists all day.
He was JaVale McGee with a lot of skill, like a whole lot of skill. Like elite level skill. I'm talking about his mannerisms and athleticism. Definitely not high.
You almost
It's
lost.
tough to say with JaVale McGee. Like, I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, I'm talking about strictly. I'm talking strictly running and jumping.
Yes,
Running and jumping. That's it. Definitely don't play like JaVale McGee. I'm talking about JaVale McGee literally can jump this high off the ground and he got this much over the rim. That's what I'm referring to.
But Kareem was also athletic, super athletic too. He was super athletic. And these are things that I knew, that I read up on, but actually just seeing that Bucks little documentary of him, I can see why. And I'm gonna tell you the truth. I will always wonder, like, how is Kareem? He had the skyhook or whatever. I know what he did in high school in New York. I know what he did in UCLA because I read about it. But now I see why he's the all-time leading scorer just by watching that little documentary. The guy was the real deal, man. He had a jump shot. It wasn't just a skyhook. He did a little bit of everything, man.
Very much respect right there. This was a good segment. Before we go, we will have to give our predictions on tomorrow's game. I'm glad all four of us is in here. Brandon, I'm pretty sure that you're undefeated. I'm 1-2. Sherm 2-1, and Faise is what? You 2-1 or you 1-1? You 2-1. Okay. So tomorrow the Nets play against the Philadelphia 76ers, who have the best record in the NBA. Who has the Nets? I mean, do you guys have the Nets or the Sixers? Just a quick bang. Faise, who you got?
Nets.
Sure.
Let's see. I'm even.
You gotta give us one.
Okay. I'm gonna take the Nets. I'll take it.
B.
Sixers. And go ahead. I was gonna say the reason why I'm going with the Sixers is I don't think Kevin Durant's playing.
He's not.
I'm going with the Sixers.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Brooklyn. I like what Brooklyn got going on. And after that primetime game, it's the Mavericks versus the Nuggets. Faise, quick bang. Who you got?
Nuggets.
Michael Porter Jr. is returning tomorrow.
Nuggets.
Sure.
Mavs.
Brandon.
Ooh. Nuggets.
I'm going with the Nuggets as well. That's all for it is right there, fellas. Appreciate you guys coming in. Everybody that's in the comments. If you're listening right now on the Anchor app, appreciate you tuning in and listening to this long. I know this was a very long segment, but we had to get it right for you. We might be back Friday. We'll let you guys know we're back Friday. Is there anything you guys have to say before I end it off?
Appreciate y'all, man. Y'all stay up. Stay safe out there, please.
They tried to kick me off Ray's podcast, but I told them no.
All right, man. All money. That's how it is. Make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Tell a friend to tell a friend. As of right now, we're always live Wednesday, 8:30, 5:30 Pacific. Might hit you guys Friday. So what it is and what it ain't. If you don't like what we got to say, join the debate. KOPY.